今天我们来跟着 Johnny and Laura 的脚步，一起来探索 British English。Hi everyone, I'm Johnny and I'm a native speaker of British English and a PhD graduate from York in the UK. 我的 YouTube 频道 Johnny and Laura 英文介绍很多英文用语、英国生活、台湾和英国文化比较。我曾经居在台湾2年多的时间，学中文和教英文。回来英国之后，我和 Laura 一直想做一个帮助大家全面认识 British English 和 British culture 的课程。很高兴终于和 Jella 推出哦。
When people think about British English, most people think about a British accent. But British English actually includes word choice, the way you speak, etiquette, cultural context, and so much more.
Yeah, we all know that Americans speak American English, but British English, and particularly British spelling, is much more common in other English-speaking countries such as Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, India, Pakistan and Nigeria, as well as in the UK.
So if you know British English, you are able to communicate and connect with more English speakers around the world.
And while learning British English, you'll also learn about British etiquette, which includes our manners, polite ways of speaking, and most importantly, how not to offend someone. So the next time you're in an international meeting or business environment where you'll meet people from all around the world, you can present yourself in a more formal, polite, and professional way. 我知道很多台湾人开始学英文是学美式英文，不太懂英国腔和英式用字，所以我的课程会 step by step 从表层到内在，教你英式英文生活、社交、进行学术和职场交流。
Interestingly, there's no such thing as a British accent. Very few people actually use modern RP, which is what you may think of when you imagine the BBC or the Queen.
Yeah, we'll talk about the origins of modern RP and introduce you to British regional accents and dialects as well. We'll also teach you all about the differences between UK and US pronunciation, spellings and vocabulary.
Our course will be presented completely in English so that you can get used to our accent and the way that we naturally speak throughout the course.
不用太担心，你到英国不同地方听到的英国腔都会不太一样，只要了解基本原则，发音只是熟悉的问题而已。For those of you who are coming to the UK for travel or a short-term stay, we'll give you a thorough guide on food, clothing, accommodation and transportation so that you're using the right word in the right place.
For example, you definitely don't want to say something like this.
Laura, I really like your pants.
And when it comes to going to the supermarket or going out shopping, dining in a restaurant or even asking to use the toilet, in the UK, there are lots of things you need to be aware of.
Yeah, for example, it would be considered extremely rude to start eating before everyone at your table has their food at a restaurant.
And of course, the most important thing of all, how can you authentically experience tea in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, we have so many different ways to experience tea. We have afternoon tea, cream tea, high tea, so many different ways to have tea.
And with all these different ways of having tea, when a British person asks you, would you like to come for tea? You would think they were inviting you for tea, wouldn't you?
No, 不是那个意思，他其实是请你吃晚饭哦。英国人有时候就是这么难懂。
In the movie Kingsman, there is a saying, manners maketh man. This is a really old proverb and shows just how long manners and social etiquette have been important in British culture.
In British culture, we have quite a few social rules that we follow to ease social situations.
One well-known British stereotype is how British people like to talk about the weather. We actually talk about the weather for an average of 3 minutes 3 times a day.
Wow. And did you know what the most common word in British English is?
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, British people say sorry on average 8 times a day.
Sorry, what?
And British people are possibly the worst in the world at saying goodbye because we don't want to be impolite.
Out of politeness, British people like to express feelings in an indirect way. We tend to add might, could, or maybe in our sentences to avoid conflict.
Do you think so?
Perhaps. You could say that.
Oh, and would you maybe at some point like to think about going out for dinner with me?
That sounds nice. We should definitely think about that at some point.
所以他们有一起去吃晚饭吗？如果你想了解英国人 small talk 交友、约会、学术和职场沟通的技巧，就不要错过这个课程哦。There is a reason why British people think and act in a certain way. If you want to really think and act like a British person, you can't do it without reading British literature and watching some classic TV programmes and movies.
There's so many idioms and sayings that originated from literature, which you can still hear people use in daily life.
Yeah, we've all heard of Shakespeare, but did you know there are more than 1,700 words that first appeared in Shakespeare's plays? Common words like bedroom, hurry, traditional, and even kissing have their first recorded use in Shakespeare's plays.
There's so much more you can learn about a culture when you read its literature. If you want to know all about the idea of the English gentleman, you can't do better than reading Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how many real-world conversations and idioms you can pick up even in a fantasy novel like Harry Potter.
We'll also give you tips on learning English from TV programmes and movies. You can actually learn real-life English while enjoying Sherlock Holmes, James Bond, Bridgerton, or even children's programmes.
我的女儿也是看配配剧，她学到 Oh goody， 整个课程学下来，你会一步步学到在英国的生存之道，得到和各地的 English speakers 深度交流的能力。课程总共106个单元，30小时，目前期间最优惠只有66折。To be or not to be a part of this course, that is the question. Although, please do be a part of it and come and learn some British English with us.